What's up? Welcome to the Inkpad. My name is Ink. I'm a poet, clothing brand owner, clothing designer in the DMV area. And I just moved like a week or two ago. I'm currently also furloughed. We're on like day 9, day 10 of government shutdown. And I do work for the government. So I've been really living that creative lifestyle right now, you could say. And so yeah, in this video, I'm gonna just be doing a little check-in for my brand, the Inkpad, and just say how things are going and where I plan to go in the future. I don't really know like the people who watch these videos, like what y'all are looking for or interested in, but for me, it's just me documenting like my process. I just went on like a little 30-minute walk and I had some pretty cool interactions today regarding the brand. Got me a Calypso. I have been craving so much sugar. You want some? Got that pineapple, pineapple peach limeade. Oh, I have to show you my samples. Let's actually do that first. So I've talked about this in a previous video where this item, this set that I've been wanting to get done, has been very hard to get made. I think this should work. But yes, this is the grid and the hoodie set. I am really loving this set. I'll show you a little bit of it in a mirror here. So yes, it's just so fire, bro. It's just so fire. So yes, and then it also, let me turn these lights off because I actually pay utilities now. I also got it in a shirt. Oh, the battery is dying. Let me change the battery of this. Okay, we're back. Man, all I do is drink water. Like this is really hitting right now. But yes, so my samples came in. I'm really excited for that. I do have to make some adjustments. For example, here's one of them. The waist, if you can see that, it's not like elastic. It's just kind of fitted. I have no idea why they did it that way. But yeah, I would like the waist to kind of not hug you, but you know, just be more comfortable, I guess you could say. And I actually cut it too small, so what I'm wearing is a small, but it fits like extra small, so I have to adjust the sizes. But other than that, they're actually pretty good. I might go ahead and order the bulk so we can get this in by Black Friday. And I don't know if I'm gonna get the shirts too. I gotta figure out how I wanna go about that. But yes, samples in. That was a big project. I've been working on this since mid-July, and I've been complaining about it for months. But it's exciting to see it come through. My vision is coming through with exactly how I wanted the prints, and I wanted the prints this way, so you can see this really nice stark contrast between the black and the white, which you can't see with DTG, and you can't see with like, I don't know, like other printing methods. Like you need plastisol ink layered on top of the black fabric. So yes, that's one update. 2, I had some cool interactions today, and it shows me like what the brand is doing, even when I don't fully realize it. And a lot of things are just kind of like naturally coming to me as I'm putting myself out there more. And a lot of things are just like working in my favor, and I'm mad grateful for it. But so today, first thing that happened, I was at the gym. I've been going to a new gym since I moved. And this guy comes up to me. He just has his hands out, and I think I'm like getting a little spray so I could wipe down the machine. And yeah, I think he's just asking for the spray. So I like hand it to him. He grabs it and still puts his hand out, and then he like daps me up. And I was like, oh, this is so awkward. Like I had no clue like what he was trying to do. And then he was like, no, I just wanted to say your shirt is fire. And I was wearing this. I was wearing this shirt, and I just thought that was so cool. Like getting compliments from strangers. He was like a trainer at the gym, and he was just asking more about the brand. He wanted to follow. He said he wanted to cop something. He even said he wanted to be an ambassador. So it was a lot of information for me to take in at once as I'm trying to get my workout in. But overall, it was I wanted to make sure this was recording. Overall, it's just a pretty like cool interaction. It's just like when you put your art out there, especially when it's something like visual, like clothing, like you just have these unique experiences where people compliment you. The coolest flex, the biggest flex I got going on in my life right now. When someone sees my clothes and they're like, oh, that's fire, where'd you get that? And I'm like, I made that joint. Yeah, you like it right here? So yeah, that was really cool interaction. And it was just, like I said, it's interesting when it's something to do with strangers who don't know you at all, and they're just showing genuine interest. I don't know, I don't know, part of me was like, is he just trying to train me? Like, do you just want my money? But I was like, the interaction was pretty cool. Second thing that just happened while I went on my walk, I was, it's a new area and I'm trying to get my routine for walking in. I used to go on walks every day just to be able to clear my head. Ideally, I do this without technology, or I'm not paying attention to my phone a lot. And so, I'm walking and I'm just going straight. And I hear this guy next to me. He's like, is that ink? And I was like, yeah, I'm ink. And he's like, oh, you probably don't remember me. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, no, I know you. You're the comedian and stuff like that. So we walked for about like 10 minutes maybe. And we're talking about creativity and a little bit about personal training and stuff. He's a massage therapist. So yeah, it was just like another just cool interaction. Not so much a stranger. I've never interacted with him in that way. I've only interacted with him at events I've seen him at, or we've seen each other at when we perform. And yeah, it hasn't like gone beyond that at all. So it was just another nice, genuine interaction, just talking about our interest. And yeah, it's something that kind of stood out was him saying, oh yeah, I've been seeing your stuff online, I guess. And I don't know, I have a thing in my head where I know, like, for where I want to be at, I'm not posting enough and I'm not doing the content that I need to be doing right. I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I'm gonna fix that later. I have my ideas about how I feel about my content, like my Instagram content for my brand, and other people are seeing and noticing stuff and it kind of sticks with them in ways that I don't fully always understand. So that's always a really cool interaction. I also have brought up that I was a personal trainer. I was talking about that and he was like saying, oh, I know someone that wants to get into that, or not, well, into personal training, but also like wants a trainer. So it's just, yeah, the more I like delve into other skills that are my passions and stuff too, I'm able to just have, cool conversations with people. I actually want to do stand-up at some point, so he was telling me about this spot and was encouraging me to get a set together, so that might be something coming up soon. I do definitely want to experiment with comedy. I feel that comedy is a skill that you just have to like not give a fuck about what people are thinking, like getting on a stage and acting like, you intentionally trying to like make people laugh. And I don't know, something about that just seems like very nerve-wracking, like that embarrassment. But I feel like if I do it, like whether the performance goes really well or it bombs, I feel that I could get something from the experience just in being comfortable with not being perfect. So yeah, that was a dope interaction that I had today. I'll say like one more real quick. I had one of like this artist. He does like raps and skits and stuff. He came over to my place and I needed him to try on clothes. So once I get samples in, I need people to try them on so I know like how the measurements are. Part of the reason I know the stuff is cut too small because he looked like a big ass man toddler that is like growing out his clothes. So I knew I needed to change the sizes. But yeah, and he was just talking to me about how pretty much it's so interesting because I just had a conversation with my mentor about what I want my target audience to be. And it's, the ThinkPad is a brand to inspire professional creatives to turn their passion projects into a sustainable full-time living so they can create their best art. That's like my little tagline he helped me come up with. And I was talking to my friend about the artist, about, just where he was at. And it's so interesting talking to someone who's my exact target audience, like someone who wants to do art full time, like I said, in a sustainable way. Maybe they're having issues with work or they're stressed out, like for other reasons. They have like issues with self-doubt or what have you. And yeah, we were just getting into a conversation about like the struggle of being like an artist who's trying to get on the come up. And of course, I haven't made no crazy ass strides, in my opinion. Making 10K off clothing is cool, but I haven't made no like I'm not famous, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'd be like 1 or 2 steps above some of the people that I'm talking to. And yeah, it was just like cool to talk about it. I felt like I had a lot to offer, even though, I don't know, it's kind of unsolicited, but it was just like, yeah, when you're an artist, you just gotta put your stuff out there and stop being like, you have to get over the perfectionism, which is one of the words I have on here. The concept of this set is like all the things that get in our way as artists from us creating, and I just put it all on the set. I've been recently calling it my super suit because it's kind of like, even when we're going through self-doubt, perfectionism, fear, fatigue, writer's block, all of that, we still create, and we still have the ability to create in it. So why not, we wear those things, not with pride necessarily, but knowing that it's not going to keep us down. So it's just like the mission of the brand is just being laid out in ways, like I said, I didn't ask for that interaction or any of these interactions, but they're just kind of like coming to me naturally as I'm delving more into my art and my mastery of, where I'm trying to get. The word creative mastery kept coming up when I was doing my research to understand my audience and my brand more. But I did have a meeting with my mentor. It would be our second meeting. The first one was going over brand identity. I don't know that I've talked about it on YouTube, but I did just give you the mission statement, which I'll say the TheInkpad HQ is brand inspiring professional creatives to turn their passion projects into sustainable full-time careers so that they can create their best work. We have professional creatives, which I was going back and forth with. I used to use the word creative entrepreneur a lot, but it has like a businessy jargon that I feel like attracts a certain audience. But professional creatives, that could be like comedians, musicians, singers, rappers, poets, just someone who like their art is kind of like that main thing. Professional creatives turning their passion projects, so the joint that they usually do on the side, you know what I'm saying, for fun or, starting to do it for money. Passion project into sustainable full-time careers. This is very important because creatives are, I don't know if they're necessarily more inclined to burn out, but creative burnout is a very specific thing that they go through. And the idea is to be able to create and then not be like feeling like I'm forced to create just to make money. Like that's not the goal, but to just be able to sustain ourselves so that we can create our best work, which is another important thing. Something my mentor had asked was, why do they have to create their best work? Why can't this just be like a hobby? And it can be for some people, of course, but the idea with their brand is this is for people who feel like this is their purpose in life, like to create and put their art out there. And that's something that I very much feel for myself. I do live the brand, and I want to find other people who take it as serious as I eventually want to. With me, I want to be a professional creative in not only like clothing design, but my poetry. I eventually do want to hop on beats. I would love to learn how to produce. I want to learn how to dance. Like I said, I want to do comedy. I want to dabble in so many things. And I feel like I just want, the biggest part of the clothing brand is not only the designing aspect. Like I do love clothing like itself, but it'd be the easiest thing, in my opinion, to streamline and create systems for where it can operate and make, cover like my expenses while I do my other art and while I just work on creating art. So the idea is the brand will become so big and so sustainable, more so that I would just be able to have not only the free time to create, but the resources to be able to collaborate with other people and travel and, do all these other things that will spark my best creativity so that I can create things that I would not be able to do, just working a 9-to-5 and this being like a side passion project, which it is right now. Did I mention that I was furloughed? Yeah, I do work for the government currently. I don't hate my job. Like I do, I would say I enjoy my work. I just know it's not my mission, you know what I'm saying? So it's been interesting being off for like past 10 days or so, and really getting the feel for this, full-time creative thing. Like you really got to map out your schedule. Something that I need to do, which I'll probably do after this video, is cook so I can save some money, but also just nourish myself. There's not just the business stuff, not just the business stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I make sure I go to the gym, meditate, journal, and creating those other aspects of the routine, which should be part of the creative lifestyle. Like you have to nourish yourself, your body, your soul, and your mind so you can create your best work. And yeah, I have been saying this thing, like the TheInkpad is finna be your favorite creative's favorite creative brand, or your favorite artist's favorite artist brand. That's the goal. It's gonna be like, I keep saying like the Nike. Like if Nike is the thing for professional athletes trying to get their peak, this would be like for professional creatives trying to get their peak. But I don't want it to be like a competitive thing necessarily. I feel like sports is very like, you know what I'm saying? It's very competitive. And I want with the aspect of this professional creative would be their biggest competition is themselves. And that's the thing that they have to overcome in order to know that they're doing their best work, their best art, and putting that out there and seeking those things. So it's a little mix of like the Nike for creatives, but also like a little more with like how Adidas does stuff. Adidas mixes a lot of like sports and lifestyle. I actually don't fully understand like what their target audience is. I have to look more into that. But yeah, we are doing great things. I feel like I am every day getting closer to where I'm supposed to be, and I'm on the right track. I have like no doubt that I'm not on the right track. A lot of things I just need to execute. Like I've been procrastinating the content plan. Oh, I could talk a little bit about that. We're about to do this thing. I'm going to call it the Your Inkpad project, where I hit up people. Of course, the Inkpad is my actual creative studio where I create my work, create my best art. And I need to be interviewing friends and other artists in the area, go into their place, go into their creative studio or their Inkpad, and seeing like why their creative space is important to them and getting content on that. I have ideas of who I want to hit up, and I've already started hitting some people up, but I don't know. I don't know why I haven't been taking action. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like if I knew like that it would work, then I would take more action on it. So I just have to build that conviction a little bit more. And I have some other technical stuff with the brand that I be getting a little overwhelmed with. Like I need to figure out the taxes thing, because taxes, when I order my bulks, have been like eating my ass. Nah, that sounds crazy, but they've been on my ass, like with just how much taxes cost when you're ordering like this bulk. It's gonna cost like $2,000-$3,000 for me to like get this set. I think my social anxiety tends to be the thing to get in my way the most right now, because I just need to hit people up. And something about like having to be consistent with that socializing it does not excite me. But I know like great things are gonna come from this. I am meant to be in front of people and communicate with them. I'm pretty good at it. I just need to like get over myself with a lot of ways. And I wish I had more people in my life that were doing like the things that I wanted to do in the way that I wanted to do them. I'm gonna be very specific about that, because I do have a very good support system. It's just we're not always compatible in all those ways that I need to grow as an entrepreneur and as a creative. So yeah, that's my check-in. Stay tuned. This was like a lot more technical than I anticipated. But yeah, I think when I post this, I will post 4 videos. So 1 video a week for 4 weeks. So we're getting back on the YouTube joint. Y'all really like the empty apartment tour. I'll link it right here. And yeah, stay tuned to find more about the Inkpad as we grow this into soon to be 6-figure brand and soon to be a millionaire brand. So yes, have a great night.